Well, greetings and hello there, everybody. It's me, your beloved Star Wars dad, and welcome to my week 40 video for my Nuge 2 Lightspeed account, a video which I previously spent about 6 minutes talking on, but did not hit the record button. Thank you very much. But we're here again. Here's Luthen Rael. I don't know how his last name is pronounced. I don't think you know how his last name is pronounced, but we're going to go with Luthen here. And I'm going to be activating Luthen through Conquest. That's going to happen with my account going forward. I'm going to be activating all these Conquest characters because I love torture. I love even more characters on my roster that need multiple Zetas and multiple Omicrons, and I ain't got them. So we're looking forward to that, but we will activate Luthen Rael on my account. I'm trying to figure out the best place to put Luthen because I don't have a Mothma that's ready, and I don't have a Gerrera that's ready, and those are really the best two leaders he works with. But let's take a look here. If Gerrera is the leader, he gains the Axis effect. Otherwise, he gains the Curator effect. The Axis effect is a bunch of stuff for Gerrera teams. The Curator effect, each ability has an Axis or a Curator. Mine will be Curator. That's all there is to it. I can look through all these abilities and talk about. We're not going to talk super specifics about the abilities. Basically, he summons a Rebel Trooper that's there, and I think sometimes that Rebel Trooper is marked, if I remember right. I couldn't find it here. Let's see here. It might be, oh, that's under Axis. That's only under Gerrera, so he won't be marked. So it'll be just an extra body on the field with that Rebel Trooper, kind of like it is under Mothma. But he definitely has a lot of synergy with all of the rest of the Rebel team. So I am really interested to see where he fits. And I looked at my roster to find out, because if I have Luthen Rael and I'm able to put all the Zetas and Omicrons on him, where do I put him? And I looked at a few options. Maybe I pull C-3PO out. I can use C-3PO. C-3PO fits on all sorts of other teams in this game. So maybe I pull C-3PO out and I put Luthen in there in place of him. I'm not sure that's the best choice. You know, put Luke, Han, Chewie, Chupio, and Luthen. Maybe it'd be kind of interesting, but it seems to me like 3PO just adds too much to that team to remove him from the CLS team. So I don't see that being an option. Maybe we go with the leftovers. We got Akbar, Leia, Luke Skywalker, Zeb. These are some leftovers we have sitting out there that we don't really use. And I'm just, you know, I don't see Luthen being that much of a lifter for these guys. I don't see him lifting up Akbar, Leia, Luke, Zeb, Rival Officer Leia, Organa, Captain Han Solo. I don't see him lifting those guys. Now, maybe if I had my Omicrons on Rebel Officer Leia Organa, Princess Leia, Admiral Akbar, you know, we're talking like 4. I think Akbar has 2 Omicrons, doesn't he? Or am I thinking Leia? There's 1. That's not. Maybe it's just 1 for him. And then 1 for Princess Leia. Is that right? There's an Omicron. I thought there was another one in here somewhere. Maybe not. So, yeah. So, maybe if you got all the Omicrons with Rolo, Leia, Akbar, and then the 2 or 3 that are on Luthen, that's a pretty heavy investment of Omicrons to find out if you can make Akbar work, though. And I'm not really feeling that. Here's where I think I'm going to end up putting my Luthen Rael. I think I'm going to put him on this team right here. Raddus, Cassian, Jyn Erso, Bistan, and Luthen. And that'll leave K2SO off the roster. Or maybe I'll put K2SO and leave Bistan out. I don't know yet. That's the first place I'm going to try him. Now, the big question for me is, will I be able to try him? Will I have, you know, we're awaiting announcements on the next Galactic Legend or the next big Galactic Legend ship, you know, to go with Leviathan, Executor, Profundity. We're awaiting an announcement on that right now. And when that comes out, I'm going for it. We're going to move right in there and make things happen. We're at 40 weeks. Hey, we've only got 12 weeks left till we're at 1 year spending $100. I can't believe how fast time passes in life. It was just a year ago or 40 weeks ago we sat here and I said I'm going to spend $100 weeks and see how it does in Galaxy Heroes, and then like a month later they did Lightspeed bundles and we were off to the races. Nuge 2 Lightspeed, here we are. But I'm thinking this is where I'm probably going to put Luthen right off the bat. And yeah, I mentioned I'm Zeta poor. I still need this Zeta. This is kind of a Zeta that I need to get on this team for Cassian. I don't know if it's a required, but I've even got a bunch of Omegas. I mean, look at this. I haven't applied any of these Omegas to Jyn Erso here. I don't think her Zeta is really very good. They're immune to buff immunity, immune to stun. I mean, it could help. I'm sure it could help. It's not going to hurt anything, but is it something I'm going to really prioritize? Nah, not really. So I'm probably going to stick him on this team when I first get him, assuming I can get him fully upgraded, get all his Zetas, get all his Omicrons. Who knows, man? At this rate, with me planning to unlock all the Conquest characters, and I'm thinking like 2 to 3 months, I'll have all the Conquest characters unlocked, and I am not going to be able to gear and Zeta and Omicron all those guys, so I'm going to have to make some decisions. My first decision will be that Fat Boba will be sitting on the sidelines. I only need 30 more shard turns. That means I'll get him next Proving Grounds. Nope. No thank you to Fat Boba. Out. You will not be... I'm just not going to spend anything on Fat Boba. You know, Omicrons, Zeta. This is not happening on my roster. So, yeah, that's where I'm thinking Luthen will go on my team with the Ad Rad team for sure. Now, what else is going on with the roster? As we wait here, as we're Zeta poor, as we're Omega poor, what are other things are happening on the roster? Well, I did get my Night Sisters finally ready for Secrets and Shadows. I got both Zetas on Mother Talzin, I got 2 Zetas on Marin, and I got 1 on Old Daka, and I took Old Daka to Relic 7, Mother Talzin's at 5. I think this team is ready to do Challenge Tier 3 of Secrets and Shadows. We're going to find out when it comes around this month or whenever it comes around next. We're going to run it through there. I'll definitely going to switch out the mods. Old Daka needs better mods than this. Well, there's a crit avoidance. There's a health. Oh, I can actually upgrade that. We'll see if I upgrade that down the road. Defense. Oh, that's not so bad. That's not so bad. She's looking pretty beefy there. She's at 126,000 health. If I take I might, you know what? Let's just, it's only 10 speed. I'll think about that later. We'll take a look at that later. But I've got this team fully upgraded and ready to throw out there for the Secrets and Shadows. So I'll look forward to doing that next month. As far as farming here at 40 weeks, I'm in a bit of a standstill pattern. You know, what am I doing right now? What I'm doing is gathering up gear, gathering up resources, hoarding all the gear that I can. I'm farming these Gear 12 finishers right now to make sure I can be ready. You know, this one's not even nearly done. I've got these guys here as Veers, Zori Bliss, Stark. I've got them here as placeholders just so I can farm this Gear 12 finisher gear so I can be ready for my Inquisitors, because my Inquisitors are the next step on my journey. With that said, these guys, there's 5 of them. They each need 400 Chirotex. When I get Grand Inquisitor, he needs 500 Chirotex. For those of you doing math outside, that's 2,500 freaking Chirotex. Not to mention, guess who's on her way to my team, to my roster? Reva. And I'm going to have problems. I got to save gear and Omegas and Omicrons and Zetas for her. I got a lot of stuff going on here, guys. I am going to be so poor in gear. It's hard to keep up with and hard to really measure how poor I'm going to be in this game, but I'm going to be poor. So we're talking about 2,000, 2,500. I don't know. I didn't look it up. Third Sister's probably 500 Chirotex well. So 3,000 Chirotex between this entire farm. Good God Almighty. May the Force be praised. Right now I'm sitting on 683 and 380. So I'm at about 1160, right? 1,060 Chirotex right now. So I'm not near the 3,000 Chirotex I'm going to need. I'm about a third of the way there. So here's my thought process. I'm just going to say, we got 1,000 Chirotex right now. I need about 3,000 if I'm going to make this entire thing work for me. So why would I start upgrading these guys now when I know there's some big announcement on the way? I know there's a big announcement on the way. We think that in June, we're going to get a road ahead. We think it's either going to have a Galactic Legend or a capital ship. I will be going for that on this account. So if I'm going for that, you know, why would I go out there and just start blowing through Chirotex right now at the lower levels of Inquisitors if next week they announce whatever, Galactic Legend, Darth Tyrannus? I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be because I want that on my roster. So I'm really in very tight resource management mode right now on this roster, keeping track of all my resources, not spending anything unless I have to. I continue to overspend, guys. I'm like $140 ahead of my $100 a week, $140 total over 40 weeks. So $4,140. I'm not going to show it to you today because it's embarrassing. But so I'm trying to hold back on my spending, but I'm running low on crystals, and it's hard. It's hard, man. That farming the Gungans and activating the day one really threw me off. But I did learn that I could have waited a little bit longer. I could have waited till the very end of the Gungans and probably unlocked them a little bit cheaper than I did by doing it early on. So that'll be a lesson for me this next Galactic Legend or next capital ship, that I'll wait a little bit longer to unlock these guys. But my quandary is this. My overall quandary, the situation I'm in is this. If we look at all these Proving Grounds characters, let's look at all my unlocked characters at the bottom of my roster. If you look at, well, Grand Inquisitor he's talking about, Queen Amidala will be unlocked sometime soon. Admiral Trench, I think Queen Amidala will be unlocked in the next couple of rounds here, or by the end of this thing, I'll probably have Queen Amidala and Luthen unlocked. Admiral Trench is sometime in the next couple of months. Dark Trooper Moff Gideon the next 2 to 3 months. Terry Malco's 3+ months. We're going to have Reva unlocked. We're going to have Darth Malgus unlocked. Boba Fett, Cyanide Django. Ben Solo. Maul. Do you know how much that's going to require of me? It's like 3 Omicrons and 2 or 3 Zetas for each characters. Not to mention the Kyrotex. That's why I'm holding on to everything right now. That's why I am not spending on anything right now. I am a hoarding machine in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and this may continue for several weeks. We'll have to see when the announcements come out and what's going on. Next week, I'll actually be in Vegas with Mrs. Nooch, jetting off to have some fun, going to eat at Hell's Kitchen, do some walking around, maybe a little bit of small gambling. Nothing big, just spending some time with the wife, having a good old time. There's Captain Tarple, just clicked on him on accident. So that's the state of the account right now. I'm wondering what I'm going to do with Luthen when he's activated. And now that I look at everything overall, I'm wondering if I even invest in Luthen. You know, I don't know. I'm really in sort of a pickle. I'm definitely in something of a pickle. For the Kyrotex, I would invest in the Inquisitors. I could probably do Sith Eternal and Sith Eternal and get my Imperial Troopers done. Or I could do Sith Eternal. I could finish off Zori Bliss. I could do probably all the Proving Grounds characters that I need, like my UFUs. I need to get them. So my choices are so broad right now. I really need to get the Inquisitors done to start doing assault battles, but for the Kyrotex I invest, that assault battle investment's not going to pay off for quite some time. So I really got to think about it. And I'm going to have Zetas on these guys, not Omicrons. I have to have Zetas and Omicrons on Grand Inquisitor and Reva. I just don't know how I'm going to move forward from here, what will be in my next farm. So I'm saving for Inquisitors at the moment. I don't see any reason to invest a lot more gear and time and resources into them until I find out what the next big farm's going to be in the game. It's tough, boy. It's tough, man. And I tell you what, I could probably even do Jabba. I mean, quite honestly, I could probably, there's 400, 800. I already got Bouche Leia done. So 400, 800, 9, 1,000, 1,100, 1,500, 1,600, 1,700. Jabba, well, once I get Jabba, then it's 700, so that's 2,400. So the price, the Kyrotech cost for Jabba, for me, is roughly equivalent to doing all my Inquisitors and doing Reva. Who would be more important to me? I mean, Jabba's going to bring me a whole bunch of Kyrotechs, man. It is tough to prioritize, but then that's, I mean, the amount of Zetas I got to put on there, too. It's hard to prioritize. It's really hard to measure right now. We're going to have to make some decisions here going forward. Right now, I'm just holding it all, keeping it close to me while I work my way through Conquest to try to unlock Luthen here at the end of Conquest. We're going to be streaming this. At this point, we streamed it last night, but we're going to do Boss Nass stream. We're going to do a Saw Gerrera stream just so we can do those last 2 territories there. And that's what we got going on. There you go. 40 weeks, spending $100 a week in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I spent a little bit more than that. I'm not going to show you because, yeah, Nooch too embarrassed, but I'll see you on week 41. Of course, you'll see this account a lot in between. I hope you all have a great day. And of course, always remember, Nooch too good.